Get 25% more cash back on any trade. April 2nd to 22nd at GameStop. Well, I'm going to take all those video games my son left in the basement when he went to college. I'm going to get 25% more cash back. Should have gotten him out of here when he came home for Easter break. And here we have Steven Spielberg. Seems to have suggested... What the hell? Steven Spielberg seems to have suggested Indiana Jones could be a woman. So either Steven Spielberg needs glasses very badly, or he's trying to find a way to pay Harrison Ford 75% of his salary. Either way, not nice. Jermaine Lucier wrote this yesterday at 4:15 p.m. for IO9 Gizmodo. You want a Subaru? No? I don't blame you. All right, let's find out what the hell this is all about. Here's Indiana Jones treating them like they need to be treated. Sometimes it may be time to hand over that whip, Indy. When Indiana Jones 5 hits theaters in 2020, Harrison Ford will be almost 80 years old. All right, now look. To be fair, one might ask, why are we doing this to this man? Why won't we let him just, enjoy his pudding and his game shows in the afternoons? Why? Because he's Indiana Jones and Han Solo. We got to torture this man until he's 100. But I will say this, in support of that idea, there used to be a TV show called Young Indiana Jones Chronicles. I think it was the late 80s, early 90s, and basically every episode started out with ancient Indiana Jones, and he's looking at a book like his journal, and he's like, oh yeah, I remember when I was 6 years old and, hanging out with, who knows who. I mean, just historical figures. Lawrence of Arabia, something, And it was good, but it was basically a spoiler alert. It basically indicated that Indiana Jones was going to survive whatever life and the movies threw at him and live to be a ripe old age. So this is consistent with that. By the way, there was an episode of the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles that Harrison Ford did portray Indiana Jones in. Just one episode. It was really cool. So there's that extra Indiana Jones thing out there, like real Indiana Jones. Not like this is going to be with some chick. I didn't learn anything from the Ghostbusters. All right, so obviously it's past time to pass the fedora. Yeah, tip the tip the fedora. I haven't been drinking. I swear to God, I'm naturally punchy. And Steven Spielberg has seemingly suggested that could happen across gender lines. Very progressive. Speaking to The Sun, as I yell at the clouds, Spielberg said he believes it's time for Indiana Jones to take, quote, a different form, his final form. He then, according to the UK newspaper, nodded when they asked him if he meant the character would become a woman. I don't blame you for being iffy about continuing with this franchise, Mr. Ford. I get it. I understand. It's getting weird. He then, according to the UK newspaper, nodded when they asked him, and he added the following quote, "We'd have to change the name from Jones to Joan. And there would be nothing wrong with that." I don't know why. Jones is a surname. There are a lot of female Jones in the world. There's Shirley Jones from the beloved Partridge Family, and Grace Jones, and I don't know, I'm sure you guys will come up with more Jones for me that are women. So there's no need to make it Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones would be fine, and she could be a female, and the film would still flop, either way. Of course, there's nothing wrong with that. The list of actresses who would absolutely slay an Indiana Jones role, who would absolutely murder the Indiana Jones franchise, is almost too exciting to think about. Jennifer Lawrence? Sure. Tessa Thompson? Yeah. Gina Rodriguez? Daisy Ridley? Wow. A whole list of female actresses with blank, stupid looks on their faces at all times. If Harrison Ford could be Han Solo and Indiana Jones, why not Ridley as Rey and Indy? Yeah. Yeah, she could single-handedly destroy his entire legacy. Why couldn't one woman do that? I think one woman could do that. Plus, even just... Who wrote this? I love these articles. I love them because, you really... you can't get much more millennial than a sentence like, plus even just look at the last few months of movies. Yeah, that is your dumb, stoned friend talking to you on the phone. All right, so let's read that again. Plus, even just look at the last few months of movies. Tomb Raider, ? Annihilation, ? Hell, Wonder Woman, ? Of course, Indiana Jones would work. I don't know how that follows. I don't think that's an argument. But plus, even just look at them. But is Spielberg being serious? And if so, does he mean it will happen in his movie Indiana Jones 5? Or just hypothetically in the future at some point? We already know that passing the torch to Indy's son Mutt, played by Shia, he will not divide us LaBeouf in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, is out the window. Why? Why? What did Shia LaBeouf do? Nothing. And that Disney CEO Bob Iger has suggested that the franchise would be rebooted post-Indy 5. So maybe it'll happen to a worthy apprentice, or perhaps a daughter. If anyone can make it so, it's Spielberg. Honestly, these articles get worse and worse. It's painful, and you guys send these to me, and I read them, and not only is the content stupid, it's delivered in a brain-dead, airheaded, Valley Girl fashion. But I read them to you because it's my job as a YouTube journalist to let you guys know what's going on in the world. And this is what's going on in the world right now. So if anyone can make it so, it's Spielberg. Well, that's true because it's his. So nobody else could. It's only him. It's not if anyone. It's only Spielberg could do it. Or George Lucas. By the way, we've reached out to Disney for potential clarification, but they're all on window ledges after the miserable performance of The Last Jedi. So they are not available to come to the phone. And we'll update if and when we get one. You never will. We'll never get an update. Who would you like to see play Indiana Jones? I'd like to see Harrison Ford in a wig play Indiana Jones. Let us know below. Absolutely terrible. But the good news is this. From this, we stumble across another article. This is great news. George Lucas has had nothing to do with the story for Indiana Jones 5. That's promising. That is promising. All right? That means nobody will be swinging like George of the Jungle. George of the Jungle from Pythons. And also, maybe the artifact that they're looking for won't be something that denies the existence of God. Yeah, this is true, which means we can probably look forward to George Lucas throwing shade at Indiana Jones 5 after it comes out. George Lucas hates SJW Star Wars, hates it. Just as Lucas bowed out of any storytelling ideas for the 7th Star Wars movie, the co-creator of Indiana Jones will not contribute to the plot of Indiana Jones and the 5th item of archaeological importance. Yes. According to Indy 5 screenwriter David Coep, speaking in a recent interview with Collider, Coep says, "There's been no consulting with Lucas about the story of the next film. He's not, to my knowledge. I've had no contact with him." Lucas is involved with the movie, however. Spielberg told press at the premiere of The Big F***ing Giant that Lucas will be an executive producer of the film. But news that he's not involved with the script of Indiana Jones 5 might give solace to fans who want a movie that's a little more like the first 3 movies in the franchise and a bit less like the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Coep appears to agree, going on to discuss the importance of the MacGuffin. That's the word that I used in the video that I did about how George Lucas has renounced God. That sits at the heart of every indie movie, and how the new movie is looking to learn from the mistakes surrounding the sci-fi trappings of Crystal Skull. Yes, they're listening. I was right. Oh, that's so good. I think what Indy looks for and what he... I think that what Indy looks for and when he looks for it dictates what the movie's going to be. So the selection of the MacGuffin is everything. I think Kingdom of Crystal Skull, being set in 1957, there was a conscious desire to say, much like two of the other ones were World War II movies set in the 30s and early 40s, this is 57, so a lot of our influences are going to be sci-fi movies. How? You got that with the original script. How does that follow? The first 3 movies had nothing to do with movies of the 1930s and 40s. Why would you... Whatever. This was a better title. Indiana Jones and the Saucer Men from Mars. It was a completely bitchin' title, and that's what the movie should have been called. Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is stupid. I thought Steve did a good job with that. All right. So the importance of the MacGuffin. Whatever the MacGuffin that Indiana Jones is going after, it won't be one created with the help of George Lucas. Either way. That's good. So what is there that he could go after? Indiana Jones and the other Lost Ark. Go after Noah's Ark. Now that would be cool. All right, so he climbs Mount Ararat. He's fighting terrorists, and I don't know. He finds dinosaur skeletons in the Ark. All right, done. Let's make a movie. Let's go.